Hi, I'm Miranda with Righteous Reviews, and today I'm here with.
Hey, my name's Caleb King.
So tell me a little bit more about yourself. How long have you been making music?
Yeah, so I've been making music for about 4 years now. It's weird because I started playing acoustic guitar, and I played it for about 7 years, and I just now started singing about 5 years ago. So from kind of the mix of those, I've been able to write music just kind of as I went to college and I had some extra free time in the dorms. I started exploring writing music and um, yeah, so I started with a lot of acoustic guitar and then it kind of led into like singer-songwriter kind of music. So it's been a lot of fun.
Nice. So what led you to your initial introduction to folk music, and what aspects of the genre have you grown to love?
So what made me kind of love folk music is my friends were huge Zach Bryan fans. And at first when I listened to Zach Bryan, I was like, this guy sucks. He's really bad. His voice isn't good. But the more I listened to him, the more I realized he's so genuine and there's no like filters on his music. And that's one thing that I really grew to appreciate about Zach Bryan specifically. And then that led into like Noah Kahn, listening to him a little bit. Um, Gregory Alan Isaacoff, he's a big like influence in my music too. Um, and just like slowly from Zach Bryan not being a huge fan up front, just because of how raw it was, but it really like started to grow on me because I appreciated just the genuineness behind his music. And then I realized there's a lot more folk artists that have that same genuine desire for their music and how they write. So that's what really made me grow to love music and also, or sorry, folk music. And then that's also what led me to start songwriting as well because I I didn't really know what to write about when I first started. And the more I listened to like Noah Kahn, Zach Bryan, like even like Sam Barber, I was able to kind of take from their writing styles and then make my own and make it my own. And so I've been able to just use a lot of their uh, unique abilities and kind of just form them all together and just see what I can use on my own. And it's been a lot of fun to figure out how to combine all of that and write music for myself.
I love that. So
Yeah.
you recently announced that you're releasing your first Christian single, Carpenter Boy.
Yep.
Considering you haven't released music like this in the past, what inspired you to do so now?
So to be honest, I haven't really promoted a lot of the Christian side of music that I've written in the past, but I have written a decent amount, and I just haven't done anything with it. And this is kind of the first song I decided to push out, and I recorded a video last week and put it out, and I did not expect this amount of engagement. It's been a crazy week trying to figure out who to respond to on Instagram, who to talk to on TikTok that have been reaching out. Like it, the engagement has just been overwhelming, to be honest. And so um, just trying to navigate all of that, but at the same time, just really enjoying where I'm at right now and just seeing how people have been super receptive of this genre of a song that I haven't really promoted in the past. I I've just done a bunch of folk music, and so it's cool to combine like the worship background of my music into folk music and just see where it kind of goes. And um, people were really receptive of this one, so now I'm kind of thinking of like, all right, so how can I do more of that in the future? And um, yeah, just implement more just like folk undertones into Christian worship music. Um, but yeah, it's been interesting. It's definitely a turn in my artist journey that I didn't expect to take, at least right now. So
Yeah, I think it's super encouraging too that like out of everything that could have blown up, it was a Christian song.
I know. I don't think it, to be honest, I don't think that was a coincidence. And I think God can use this song a lot as it comes out. There's been a lot of churches that have asked to play it, and just yeah, so also like putting it out on streaming platforms will be cool, but also the church, like giving it to the local churches that want to start playing it. I think that's just a whole other side of music that I didn't really have in the past with just folk music. So yeah, it's been really cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, do you see yourself exclusively making Christian music from this point on, now that everything has been blowing up and doing well?
Yeah. To be honest, I can't give you a straight answer to that question right now because there's still so much of me that loves just folk music and but also I was raised in the church my whole life and I've played on the worship team my whole life. It's just it'll be interesting these next few months to see just what people are receptive to with new music I'll start to put out. And I definitely want to keep exploring just kind of like Christian singer-songwriter folk music, if that even all combines. But um, yeah, again, it's cool to see like the work I've put into like writing folk music so I can use kind of that sound and put it into Christian worship music. And we'll see where it goes. I have a couple songs in my in the works that I've been working on that are the kind of the same genre. And so it'll be cool to see how people are receptive to those. And yeah, we'll see what happens this next month with the release of this song, kind of making those big decisions of like what to do next with music. So
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. So, music clearly plays a significant role in your life. What do you enjoy doing when you're not creating songs? Are there any hobbies you're passionate about?
Yeah, so I actually love to fly fish. My family moved to Arkansas from Virginia about 2 years ago, and fly fishing is a huge thing here. There's lots of rivers you can go to, and the main reason I like it's a ton of fun just to fly fish, but also just like it's so relaxing out there. You can just kind of shut your brain off for a while. And it's kind of the same thing with another hobby I'm into, which is golf. I love to golf just because it's the same with fly fishing. Like you just have to be laser focused on that, and you can't think about anything else while you're there. Um, so th those are kind of the main two right now. And yeah, I wish I could say songwriting is a hobby because it fills up most of my time right now. But yeah, if I could say two others, it'd be fly fishing for sure and golf.
Okay. So, you recently went to Guatemala. Tell me more about your trip. How did you see the Lord working while you were there?
Yeah, so I was able to lead a student trip from my church um, to Guatemala, and we were there for a week. And it was really cool because, to be honest, as a leader, I was concerned with how the students would react to a new culture and just a new setting that they haven't experienced before. And it was really cool to see that throughout the week we were there, they stepped out of their comfort zones and they were able to just follow God's lead with where he was showing them like where they need to grow or where they need to step out of their comfort zones. And it was cool like throughout the week just seeing them step up and get out of their comfort zone. That was the main thing that was really encouraging this week. We spent the whole week teaching nutrition to kids in schools. And so we split up all into groups and went into classrooms and taught nutrition in the mornings. And then we would go to about 2 to 4 schools a day, depending on how big they were. And then after we did all that in the morning, we would invite all of them to a VBS in the afternoon. So we some days we had 100 kids, some days we had 400. Like it, we didn't know what to expect with how people would show up, and so that was really cool. And then again, just the students being really good leaders to the Guatemalan kids that we were teaching, and yeah, that was the most encouraging thing for me. Going into it a little bit worried about that. Um, and just also how the trip brought everyone together, just a little bit closer. And a lot of the students didn't know each other going into the trip. So that was another really cool takeaway from that trip.
That sounds amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like going to like a trip like that, that would just like change your perspective on everything.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
So, seeing as the music industry is commonly filled with secular beliefs, have you faced any struggles as a Christian musician?
There always is the tendency as someone who wants to write Christian and worship music, there's always the tendency to appeal to secular audiences because you tend to just get more viewership, you tend to get more out of whatever you're promoting and working on. And so that's another thing I'm trying to navigate right now is like what music is worth my time right now and what's actually worth working on for people to hear. And so it was cool with this song. It's just I think it's just obvious that people wanted to hear it and people wanted to engage with it, just on a deeper level than, to be honest, just folk music. I think it just resonated with people on a deeper level. And so there always is that tendency. I mean, even in my brain, as I'm trying to like figure out like the initial steps of my artist career, like what do I want to do with my first few like albums or singles, like there always is that tendency to just be like, all right, what is on the radio? Like what is doing really well on social media? But I'm trying my best right now to like kind of shut all that off and just first of all be in a lot of prayer, um, and then just asking God like please like lead me in the right directions, give me the right group of people, to just help me navigate all of this. And then yeah, the second thing is just um, from prayer, like being surrounded by a good group of people that want to glorify God, um, with anything that we're working on. So they'll help me navigate the next few steps of what I need to do with my music and what I need to work on next. So yeah, it's hard to, but I'm trying my best right now to just kind of shut my mind off and my eyes to kind of compare myself to a secular, like the secular music scene. It's hard to, but I'm trying my best.
So, I saw that you were on this season of American Idol.
Yeah.
Congratulations. What
Yeah,
inspired you to
thanks.
try out for the show?
So I auditioned for that show super it was on a whim. It was like it was last October, I think. Or no. It was last August. Um and I saw an American Idol post on Instagram. I forget what it even was. It wasn't even about auditioning, but it just made me think like how do you audition for the show? So I went on their website and you literally just had to record a video, submit it. So I propped up my phone on my window, recorded something in 5 minutes, and then just sent it. And I didn't know what to expect and didn't even tell my parents about it. I was like, I'll just see what happens. And then about 3 weeks later, I get an email, and I get a call back. And so that was like, I probably should tell my parents now. So I told them and hopped on Zoom with some of the producers of the show, sang some more songs, and they put me through to the next. There was another Zoom meeting I had to get through, with the executive team at American Idol. Sang in front of them again, and they're like, "Well, we have good news for you. You're gonna be performing in front of the judges in New York." And I was like, "All right." It was just like the way they said it was so cut and dry. I was like, "Cool, all right. Well, I'll see y'all there." Like, and I just ran out and like went and told my mom, and she was super excited. And so yeah, we started the whole audition process. Went up to New York in October, and I made it through. I got my golden ticket to Hollywood, which was a crazy experience. And then I went to Hollywood, and I made it, to about the top 30. So I was in Hollywood for about 2 weeks, filming in January. So that whole experience was just, first of all, it was a growing experience because I had never been put under that much pressure to perform. Like we were singing every day, we were performing all the time, and we were also working on the next thing each day, like when we weren't performing. So that was just a whole other level of just just back-to-back events that we had to focus on for about 2 weeks while I was there. So it was a really cool experience. It helped me just be more comfortable in like spontaneous moments where I don't know what's going to happen next. Um, like a lot of my life, I've grown comfortable like with a set schedule, knowing what's going to come ahead. And with these like American Idol rounds, no one knew what the next round was going to be like. So it was always another surprise, and you didn't know what was gonna come next. So that was probably the coolest like growing moment of that trip and being a part of the show is just being okay with not knowing what's ahead. Um, and that's also taught me like with the next music I release, just like being okay with the moment I'm in right now and just taking it day by day. So yeah, it was a really cool learning experience.
Yeah, I was literally just gonna ask you about the learning experience. Like, how do you think this
Yeah.
helped you grow as a musician and anything you specifically learned other than maybe what you just said?
Yeah, I think just one more thing that I learned is just th there's so much, especially like we talked about in like the secular side of music. There's this pressure to always perform, even if like one night you're performing and you don't feel like you completely have it. Like there's always this like feeling that I have to be something, and I feel like I've learned to again cut that out of my like thought process when I'm singing music up on a stage is like how do I just be myself and show up with nothing more than that, like, and however the audience reacts they're gonna react, but how do I just be myself on stage and not feel the pressure to perform and try to be something I'm not. So and then that's also gonna be it's going to be different every day because you feel different every day. So just trying to adapt to that mindset a little bit more. That's just another thing they taught me a lot on the show. So yeah,
Yeah. So the last question I have for you is, do you have any favorite Christian musicians?
yeah, for sure. I mean I really like Brandon Lake. I'm like who doesn't like Brandon Lake? I think his songwriting is just really cool, and it's just in a new space of worship music that people haven't really tapped into in the past. And even with, like he sang a song with Jelly Roll, like who does that in the worship music area? Like it's just he's just like paving new paths within worship music that people haven't gone down in the past. So that's really cool. And then I love Phil Wickham, like just how he's so like congregationally minded with how he writes music that the church can actually use and sing with all together. I think that's really cool. I also love Shane and Shane. I grew up listening to them all the time. Um, their like voices are incredible, and yeah, that was the main band I grew up listening to within like worship music. So yeah, those are kind of the top three that I've been really liking right now.
Have you ever listened to Josiah Queen?
Oh yeah, I have. Yeah,
I
I
was gonna
meant to.
say,
Yeah,
I feel
I
like he goes with your style a lot.
yeah for sure. I'm gonna try my best to reach out to him because I would love to like meet him at some point. Just because I feel like he's like been in the music industry for a while, but it would be cool to hear his story and like how he kind of developed his career as well. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for meeting with me today.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, thanks for having me.